How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's another edition of Away Days with Dino and another recording for my 2 cents involving the teams that I support. Just a quick one in regards to the game that's happened today. In regards to Arsenal Football Club, they just finished their game no more than an hour ago against Southampton by winning by 3 goals to 1. A very hard-fought victory in this game. Took them a while to break them down. Well, they scored first, but they were hard to break down. But I'm gonna get more into that in a moment. I'm just gonna give the quick outline of the goal scorers and stats. So yeah, as I said, Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. Cameron Archer scored to give Southampton the lead after 55 minutes. Arsenal responded well by a Kai Havertz equaliser 3 minutes later. Gabriel Martinelli came off the bench and he scored within a few minutes of coming on to make it 2-1, and then Bukayo Saka wrapped it up a bit on a counter-attacking goal to make it 3-1. So quickly going to the stats as well. Arsenal had 29 shots on goal, 6 of them on target. Southampton had 8 total shots with 2 on target. Arsenal had most of the ball, 59%. They had more clear-cut chances, as they would. So going into it, pretty decent. Decent end to the match considering how the game started, especially for Arsenal. In that regard, so want to go into the game, and first things first, I need to mention things in regards to Southampton, because I have to give them complete respect here because of the key word is response. So for any Southampton fans out there who are going to be listening to this, I have to give you kudos for, first and foremost, travelling to the game after what happened against Bournemouth. I mean, it's a big South Coast derby, and when your manager's coming out criticising the team how he did, openly and honestly, in every aspect of our lives, wherever all of us have played sport, whether it's football, American football, basketball, tennis, rugby, we've always had games where we've had a bad game, and our coaches or even ourselves will come out and say, we didn't play as well as we thought we should have. Our expectations of the game, we played bad. Our game was off. We just didn't play very well. And Southampton's manager, I can't remember his name for the life of me, done that on Monday. And I was watching the game on Monday. I was actually on the way home from the States, watching the game in the airport, and I thought to myself, man, Southampton are playing quite bad in this game. Left it there, got home, still score was 3 goals to 1. All the damage was done in the first half. Now, I done my predictions in regards to who I thought was going to win this match. I knew Arsenal would win. I had a prediction that Arsenal would win, but I knew it wasn't going to be easy because, like I said, the key word is response. And when you have games like how Southampton did against Bournemouth, you have to be very wary of the next game that you play. The opponent anyway, and in this case Arsenal had to be very wary of how they were going to come out, because there was no way that Southampton were going to come out in the same way they did against Bournemouth on Monday. So Arsenal had to be very wary. Southampton today were a lot more organised. There's a lot more communication on the pitch from what I saw. They were passing the ball around a bit better. They were threatening at times. They counter-attacked. So I have to give them a lot of respect for that, a lot of kudos and a lot of claps because of how they played that at early start of the week. And they got their reward with Cameron Archer scoring in the 55th minute. Now, from an Arsenal point of view, as an Arsenal supporter, I look at it and say, well, this is how things tend to go with Arsenal if they don't score after the first 25 minutes, because what ends up happening is teams start getting a bit more belief, and this is what happened in this game. Southampton didn't threaten too much in in the first half they're more frustrated, but they then came out in the second half and thought, right, okay, let's give it a go. And 10 minutes into the second half, they got it. Now, as an Arsenal fan, like I've said, I think we've all got used to knowing that, yeah, like I've just said before, if Arsenal don't score in the first 25 minutes, yeah, it's going to be a long day. And it was very, very frustrating to see that ball go in the back of the net for Southampton, because I personally feel that we was very, very lax in the first half. We weren't. It felt like they weren't taking them too seriously, but it took the goal, ironically, for them to take the lead. It took them to take the lead for Arsenal to come out to play, and Kai Havertz gets his goal again. He's now scored 6 games in a row. They said, the same as what Robin van Persie's done. So Kai's doing what he has to do. Gabriel Martinelli, he came off the bench and he scored his goal. I think he's needed that. I think he very much needed that, and well done to him. He came off the bench, came on and had a little spring in his step. Really, really enjoyed seeing that, because I do rate Martinelli quite highly. I think he's got a lot more to give in regards to the team. So I know he's got more in his engine that he can do. He threatens all the time. Between him and Trossard, they are good at threatening defence with their runs and dribbles. And then obviously later in the game, they came forward again when Southampton were pressing a bit, and then Bukayo Saka gets the goal. So overall, yeah, I done a prediction thing on the BBC's website. I said that we'd win 3-1. I did see Southampton putting in a goal. So to get that was a big win, especially with Liverpool winning today. We had to respond. So just to keep on their coattails, and especially with Man City as well, knowing that they were most likely going to win as well, we had to keep things going, keep going, keep up the pressure, just keep the momentum going with the games. Only other thing which came out in my Arsenal group, on my Arsenal WhatsApp group with the boys, I think it was Dan that said it. Dan, if you looked at our starting lineup, we had Sterling and Jesus both playing today. I think Dan said it. I think Dan said, was it Dan or was it Ryan? I can't remember. It was one of you boys that said it, but it was mentioned to say they don't think that Sterling and Jesus can play in the same team. Now Sterling, he was on. He threatened a bit. He done well, but the game changed after the substitutions. Do I think they can play together? They can, but I just think with how Arsenal have been with Havertz playing in a false 9 position and having Martinelli and Saka on the flanks, I think that's worked a bit well. Understandably, though, we had to tinker around with the starting lineup today. We didn't have a first choice right back in. About that, Tomiyasu was on the bench, but he's come back from injury. Ben White was out today. As well, Jurgen Timber was out today, so both our right backs were out. So Thomas Partey had to go into the right back position. In that instance, I would have thought, okay, if we're going to put him at right back, let's keep with Havertz at the false 9, and maybe play Trossard instead of Sterling on the left. I think it might have brought maybe a bit more of a thing going forward for us. I mean, we did threaten, don't get it twisted, and Jesus did work hard up front, but I think that should come as like a plan B. So when people say that we need a goal scorer, I can see what people are saying in terms of saying we need a goal scorer who can score 25, 30 goals a season, which I think we do need anyway. I've said this for a good few years. But is Jesus the one to get it? Maybe not. But he is more than capable of scoring 10 to 15 goals a season. He's more than capable of doing so. He's proven that in his time in the Premier League. But overall, I'm happy. You have to be happy with the result. We got the 3 points. Especially after the game against Man City, it was always going to be a thing where the next two games, which were Leicester and Southampton today, it was always going to be a thing where it's like, okay, we're playing two promotional teams in a row, so it would be good to actually play them and get the 3 points from both teams, which we have done, just to keep the pressure and keep the pressure up and stay atop. Um, you know, again, just have to keep it going. We're now going into an international break now, so the momentum will kind of slow down. But it's always good to get a win just before you go into the international break, because and especially with our first game back is against Liverpool. So that's going to be a pretty tough game going into it. And Liverpool themselves, yeah, they won today as well. So and they're defending quite well as well. I watched their game against Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace found it a bit hard to break them down, but they did have chances. But from what I saw in the game, Alisson came off. It looked like it was a hamstring injury, so he might be out for a good 4 or 5 weeks maybe. And I've got to take him out of my fantasy team incidentally. But that's our next game. I believe it is at Anfield, so it's going to be a tough one. It always is at Anfield. But congratulations to Arsenal. Hard fought win today. I'll give my flowers to Southampton as well for their response after the Bournemouth game as well. I think that if they play like that, I think they'll be more than fine in the league. They just need to find that first win. I think if they find the first win, then they'll probably build a bit of momentum. But it's not gonna be easy. But I think if they play how they played today, I think they'll be okay in terms of being in the league. But congratulations to Arsenal. Another win, still undefeated. And like I said last time, let's keep it going. Let's just keep it going. But guys, that's my 2 cents on Arsenal Football Club. Next game is against Liverpool. International break is coming up. If you are listening to this, you're listening to this on Podbean. If you are watching this, you are watching this on my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are all great. I hope you have a good rest of the weekend. For anyone who's going to the NFL games this weekend up in Tottenham, hope you enjoy yourself. I'm not going. I'm probably going to go up there next week and the week after. I'm going to be doing another little preview on my YouTube channel in regards to Bad Blood, for you wrestling fans out there. But that's me for my 2 cents. Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. Guys, I'll see you on the next one.